King Alcohol has many forms by which he catches man. He is a beast of many horns, and ever thus has been.
For there's rum,
and gin, and beer,
and wine,
and brandy of logwood hue,
and hawk,
and port,
and flip, combined
to make a man look blue.
He says be merry,
For his good sherry,
and Tom and Jerry,
champagne and perry,
and spirits of every hue.
Hey, we are back with Blind Pig's Confessions.
What is happening, everyone?
Is that Jeremy Brown?
It is.
It is. Funny man Jeremy Brown.
Who invited him?
I don't know. He
No
just
one invited
shows
me.
up.
Yeah, I just showed up.
Actually, he was really excited to come here tonight.
Yeah,
I
he's
was.
wearing a very unique shirt.
He was trying to be cool about it, but
I try not to fanboy out. I held on for about 5 or 10 minutes, and I had to take off the jacket. And
It didn't last long.
no, not long
I'm
at
kind
all.
of upset you didn't put me right beside him.
so
I should be in your seat.
I know, but why were you so excited? Who were you so excited about?
I can't even talk right now.
Kevin,
Kevin,
let me do it for you. Ladies
Kevin
and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, his name is Kevin Thorn, a.k.a. also known now as Kevin Thorn or Kevin Fertig Realty, sponsored by Parker Mortgage this evening. When we are live on the Blind Pig's Confessions. Tag team. Whoa, they're not tag team champions of the world, but they are the beer drinkers of the world, ladies and gentlemen. And we are here live. Thank you very much for joining us. And yes, if it is too loud, just turn the volume down because that's what I do.
Kevin's here.
Hell yeah.
Founding.
Kevin Fertig just did that way better than I could ever do that. Thank you, sir.
Kevin's glad to have you, man.
I did touch your
Good to have
nipple
you.
earlier because, that's exactly the place that my picture is on your shirt. And it was it almost pierced me, to be honest.
I was going to ask you to
I
touch my
almost went
nipple
from
whether
that.
I had the
almost
shirt on or
touched it.
not.
I was like, I think I just touched my name is Thorn, but I think I just touched a rose thorn or something. My finger came off, and I was like, oh, man, maybe I should dip it on a stick or something because it was bleeding.
I was really excited to see you.
I know.
Yeah. That's what happens. I like to party.
This is an amazing place, and we'll talk more about the building and everything. Mike, what's your last? Is it?
Yep,
Is it Park? Okay.
Yep, Mike Park.
And this is an amazing building, and there's some cool stuff going on downstairs as well, right?
Yes. So we also have Tim Palmer with us from Primeval Brewing.
Good to have you, Tim.
How you doing?
Howdy, sir.
So just did initial studs and whatnot for the build out of his new Primeval Brewing that's going to be open late spring.
Yes, late spring.
Right here in downtown Noblesville.
Nice.
Now, how big a system are you going to be working?
It'll be a 7-barrel system.
Nice.
From Blickman Engineering.
Nice.
Nice.
Right out the back door, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
Love Blickman.
Yep. Make some great equipment.
Absolutely,
Great
dude.
person. So
Now, how long have you been toiling and trying to get this? Did you just find the building? I mean, was that a big part of the getting everything together and finding the building? And because you've been brewing for a while, haven't you?
yeah, well, I mean, my partner and I, Nathan Compton, we've
About a month and a half.
Yeah, well, we've been we haven't brewed here yet or
Right,
anything. We've been home brewing for quite a while. But we started this venture probably it's been almost 2 years now.
Right.
And when we found this place, we'd been searching for a year. We actually started out looking in Noblesville because that's where we wanted to be. Couldn't find anything and journeyed all around the city, and actually made full circle back to Noblesville again, and it worked out perfectly.
Nice.
Found a perfect spot, exactly what we wanted.
A lot of red tape still though to get through to get
It's
things
been a lot
moving.
of red
and
tape, yes,
yep.
one thing after another,
Yep,
but
yep,
it's
yep.
moving again, so it's good.
It'll be worth it.
Yes, hopefully. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it.
So what he's saying is, Noblesville, hurry the up.
Cut the red tape.
All right. Step it up, Noblesville.
So to seeing yourself on a nipple, it gets you pretty aroused there, Kevin? Does that mean it bring back some good memories? And
Oh man, I agree. The memories just fluid. I mean, it's almost lactating. I mean,
Oh, give it time. Give it time. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
so yeah, I mean,
and this is pretty big, quite a difference from what you were doing before to stepping into real admin. But you like the role though, don't you? You like what you're doing, and
oh man, yeah.
you can tell you love it.
Yeah. I mean, if you were really going to put two professions together and everything else, I mean, you'd really, real estate and wrestling are kind of a lot of the same. I'll probably get yelled at for this, but I don't give a crap. There's a lot of egos in real estate too. I mean, there's a lot of people that think
there'd have to be.
They think
Yeah.
they're main eventers and everything else because they're selling a lot of stuff and everything else, and good for them. And us little guys. Well, I mean, I'm not
Little?
really a little guy, but I'm making strides to become somebody and everybody else. And it's definitely a work in progress and everything else. But I mean, it's so much fun. I mean, I have my own championship belt now. That's on the table now.
Which
that
I
nobody
love
can
that-
really see, but
Yep.
if they go to Kevin Fertig Realty on Facebook, they can see it every day. Or give me a call
Every day.
But I mean, like literally, I mean, it's amazing, man. I'm able to make champions, a couple champions a month and all this stuff. I mean, with what I'm doing, I mean, the greatest thing about coming into a house and all that stuff is, I mean, literally they are, they're the champs. I mean, they're coming into a house, they're the main event. Everything else is kind of like their own venue.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the times I wrestled in Madison Square Garden, the times I wrestled, Ford Field WrestleMania with his shirt, stuff like that. I mean, there's the headliner. Well, that's what the homeowner is. He's the headliner of that house, everything else. And I'm just happen to be the one that is getting him to be the champ, kind of thing. And then, at the end, we're raising hands and, kissing babies and high-fiving. And, the only thing I haven't mastered yet is figuring out how to get the smoke in the house when they go to move in. Like, of course, I think they'd be running out, oh, God, our house is on fire. Some pyro, everything else as they're walking in. They're, hand raised. We got this house. Yeah, I haven't mastered that yet. I'd probably catch it on fire, so I'm not quite going that route yet.
But do you actually give? We see pictures that when you sell a house, that they have the belt. They have a belt on. Do you give away a belt?
No,
Or is this
I
the
give
belt
away
you take a
some
picture
cool
with?
characters and everything else. They all get to take a picture with the same belt. I
Okay.
mean, everybody's kind of got the same belt. Everything else.
A lot of people that could wear like a
yeah,
25-pound belt.
Yeah, well, not a 25-pound belt. And then too, I mean, the belt was like $2,500. I
Holy.
mean, to give that away every time.
No, I thought maybe you had
So-
like
Like the Walmart
a replica that you could give away to people when
I'm
they
not giving away a
buy a
Walmart
house.
belt.
What do you think this
Yeah,
is?
there you go. Hey, you put all that trust in me. Here you go. Here's some tin foil and some paper clips.
Can they come here and sign and have a glass of bourbon?
At Parker Mortgage, yes, anytime.
There you go.
And I bring a lot of my, customers here, stuff like, clients here, stuff like that. I mean, Parker Mortgage has an unbelievable mortgage company, mortgage staff, stuff like that. And then they got one of the coolest bars in town. I mean, we come here, we meet.
It is
for a
very
second,
cool.
And then,
Yeah.
and then we warm up.
Yeah. So what are we at? 308 different bourbons right now.
308.
That's
Yeah.
it?
Yep, just the 308 so far, and then the full bar in addition to that. Then we have 2 beers untapped and the 3 beer fridges and a wine cooler.
Now, what do you got on
Nice.
So
tap?
if you need
I
to
seen
drop
some beer
interest
brewery on
points,
the
bring
tap
a
there.
really special bourbon with you, and maybe we can work on interest points too. All right. I'm really not in charge of that, but I'm just throwing it out there.
We can barter.
Yeah, we can.
We can barter.
It's probably not compliant.
Yeah, not compliant. Scratch that. We did not mean that. It's all a joke.
Yeah. So the tap in there, we have a dragon's milk. That
Oh, nice.
It's a
Nice.
Beautiful.
it's a cherry dragon's milk.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
very, very sweet. Tastes
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
That's
Parker
sweet.
Oh, yeah.
cherries. It actually gummed up my lines pretty bad.
I bet.
But yeah, I love dragon's milk. It's
Yeah.
good stuff.
That's
Fantastic stuff.
probably
Yes.
my favorite beer ever made, Dragon's Milk.
Yeah, we're just showing. They just released the white.
Yeah, the
White stout.
Yeah.
The white stout.
The white
Dragon's-
stout Dragon's Milk, yeah.
Bourbon barrel white stout. Yeah.
But you're a bourbon lover, that's your true love, right?
Bourbon's my jam.
Yeah.
So it's funny. I was probably 23 before I ever drank a single thing in my life, and it's super weird. But,
Yeah.
Day I
the first
turned
thing I ever
21.
had that I liked was a whiskey, and it just makes sense. I just get it, and I thoroughly enjoy it. And,
Sure.
other stuff I drink all kinds of stuff now, but it's like this.
Always
feels-
come back
this,
to
this
bourbon.
is home.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
It's really weird because now, as an adult and learning about family history and all this stuff, like I have all kinds of family from Kentucky that were moonshiners. That
Yeah.
Oh, really? You didn't know?
Oh, that's
that?
awesome.
Yeah, you
That's
come
cool.
by it honest
Yeah.
then.
Didn't
Yeah,
know
it's just
this
like,
until
it's meant to be.
I'm an adult and talking to my dad that he used to have a thumper and they used to like run river water and all this crap through his hillbilly still out in the
Nice.
woods.
Nice.
That is
Yeah,
awesome.
so I actually have some moonshine in
I
there.
seen a jar out there.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So there's some in the fridge that's let you guys try it. It's
Oh, yeah.
actually off of a actual hillbilly still, like Popcorn Sutton.
Sure.
Oh, really?
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Kentucky.
Oh,
Coming
yeah.
off of a stream.
That's gonna
And,
happen.
Yeah, it's the best moonshine I've ever had.
What do we start with tonight?
So this is Hard Truth. So if you guys know
Quaff-
Quaffons,
oh, yeah, absolutely.
new distillery down in Brown County.
Is it Brown County?
Is
Yeah.
it officially Nashville?
I think it
I
is
think
officially
so,
Nashville.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I started the Noblesville Bourbon Club, I don't know, 6 months ago, something like that. And this is like bucket list life goal achieved. Somebody showed up and handed me free bourbon. It's never happened before. Hasn't happened since. But they brought this to us to try with the Noblesville
Long
Bourbon
story
Club.
short, Hard Truth, please bring bourbon back.
Yes, please bring more. So yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's
delicious.
very good stuff. So straight bourbon finished in one of their rum barrels.
So how long have they been distilling?
That I don't know. So
Maybe 2 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's pretty young distilling. I don't.
I
Yeah.
feel like they just opened the actual distillery thing in
Maybe
Nashville for
yeah.
tourism.
Oh, okay.
So
Correct.
I don't,
Yeah.
I don't know how long they've been
Yeah.
distilling.
Oh, okay.
But this is the first release of their bourbon, so I think the bourbon's probably got to be, from the way it tastes, it's got to be at least 2 years old.
Yeah.
but-
Oh yeah.
Really nice.
But what was it? 2 years ago we did the model show.
Yeah, and
Next Top
we had
Model?
some gin and
That's when they first released it, wasn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah, they had the gin and the
Yeah.
vodka.
Yeah.
But it was good stuff, and this is right on point with it. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really sweet.
Really tasty.
Yeah, it's really smooth.
Yeah.
Kevin, you're not big as a bourbon lover. I know you love your beer, but you.
I heard he's a tequila guy.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
a te- I'm a
yeah,
tequila guy.
yeah.
Yeah, tequila because I'm trying to watch my girlish figure, all that stuff, and technically, tequila does help your metabolism, speeds it up, all that stuff, and burns fat. At least that's my story, ladies. So just stick to it. Yeah.
Well, it does get you out of your clothes, so yeah, you should weigh less.
Well, in fact, I'm sitting here naked right now, and nobody can see it because whatever, except for that guy over there. He keeps watching me. That guy with my shirt on.
Oh,
Other than that,
I can see it, Kevin. I can see it.
But Tim, what about you? Are you a bourbon lover? In fact, I mean, how long have you been brewing home brewing yourself before you even got together with Nathan? And
Oh, so I've been homebrewing since 2009. I kind of just started out as a hobby.
was there a got you beer for you that got you into I got to start doing this or?
No, it was I work in manufacturing, and during the
Let's
Great
screw this.
Recession, things were like going bad. Like,
Yeah.
well, I better find something else to do. So I was like, well, bought a kit. I'll try to homebrew, see what happens. First kit I bought, I burned it, scorched it.
Oh yeah.
Every bit of sugar was like, I thought I ruined everything I had. I threw it outside, but I went back to it and fell in love with it. I won Homebrew of the Year twice at State Fair, Best
Nice.
of Show twice.
Beautiful.
Sweet.
So it
What
was,
style did you win?
German Pilsner and
Oh, really?
Munich
Wow.
Helles is what I won Best of Show with.
Good deal.
I don't know. I love beer, but talking about bourbon whiskey, I do love them. I don't know enough about them to
Yeah.
really
Yep.
appreciate them enough. But
I'm
I
the
do
same
love
way. I'm a way bigger beer guy than I am bourbon or anything else, but I do.
I think
I do.
I do.
I do. Yeah.
Do you have a certain style yourself that you love in beer, or is it you just love it all, or is there
I mean, I
some
do
that really?
love them all, but I probably I kind of like the German style
Yeah.
beers, and mainly because I feel like I love drinking beer, so I can drink them and drink them and drink them, right?
Right.
And so I just love drinking beer, so I don't always.
Attaboy.
Nothing
is
wrong
that-
with that.
Yeah. Is that going to be Primeval's wheelhouse, German beers? Or?
Actually, it's just more. The wheelhouse will be more like European style beers, so German,
Yeah.
Belgian, English beers. We'll have IPA and things like that, but Nathan and I, we just enjoy drinking beer, and that's the idea. We'll have higher alcohol beers, but they're still very drinkable. It's not meant to be real boozy, but
You brought some for us to try, right?
yeah, I brought some for us
Yeah.
to try.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Nice.
we'll
Nice,
see,
good
but,
deal.
So where the name Primeval come from?
Oh hell! I mean, names. we went through so many names trying to come
actually,
up with
he was a
stuff.
big Kevin Thorn fan too.
Yeah.
He's just there's Big Evil for the Undertaker. And now he's Primeval for Kevin Thorn. He's trying to get me to come back.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was, we went through so many names trying to figure out one, and actually, it started out, the name was going to be Rebel Brewing, but we ended up running into an issue with that, and so we had to come up with something else, and actually, it's still kind of our business name, but I came up with the name one time talking to Nathan, and he was like, I don't know if that's really a great thing. But we started talking. I was like, well, I do like dinosaurs, and Primeval kind of went in there, and that's how that kind of developed. And not that it really means anything other than we just kind of liked it. And honestly, the logo, I don't know if you've seen the logo. It has a dinosaur on it. I mean, holding a barrel, and that's just how it developed. I mean, it doesn't really mean anything. It's just kind of
just works.
Hey, man, hold on real quick. You had that sweatshirt over that and everything else here. I'd just like to lead a little chant, and these guys will get into it. Take it off.
Take it
We want to see the real T-shirt.
Take it off. Take it off.
It's way creepy.
There you go.
Look at that.
It's a freaking raptor holding the. It's a Tyrannosaurus Rex or a raptor?
That's a
Tyrannosaurus
bourbon
Rex.
barrel that it's on.
No, well, I mean, whatever. It's a barrel.
It is badass.
That's freaking awesome.
Yep. So it worked out well. I mean, like I said, there's no
There's
big
gonna be
history
a lot
behind
of
it.
people
but-
around town wearing that shirt. I promise you that.
So-
That thing's awesome.
Yeah.
And I don't have a great history as far as he's got this whole Kentucky family working down there.
You just like beer.
I've got 3 generations that worked at Anheuser-Busch in St. Louis, but my claim to fame on that is my uncle, when they went on strike, took me down to the picket line and held me up in front of the television and said, "Augie, put my daddy back to work."
Nice.
That was a long
Yeah?
time ago.
That was a long.
Political activist.
You don't need a backstory. You just like beer, and that's good enough backstory. Yeah.
Yep. Works.
But this building, Mike, this says the building itself has a lot of backstory. You certainly tell us a little bit about it. It was
No,
pretty.
This building's awesome. So
yeah.
we are super lucky, blessed to have been able to buy this building a couple years ago. We're on Logan Street, like looking out the window. I'm looking at the courthouse in downtown Noblesville, so we're right kind of in the heart of everything. And when we bought it, it was super weird because it was 2 buildings side by side. Building 1 was way undervalued because you couldn't get upstairs, so the whole square footage of the second floor was nothing. And then building number 2 had no bathrooms, so it was a depressed building because of that. So we bought the 2, busted a hole in between them, and turned them into one giant building, and kind of solved all the problems because we activated the second floor. So I'm a huge history nerd. The second floor of this building had never been occupied since 1909.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
So when we bought the building, 3 people worked in this 13,000 square feet.
Jeez.
And
Wow.
I think once the brewery opens, we'll have somewhere in the 35 people working downtown kind of range. So
Wow.
like as far as the community goes and everything, I think that this building's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm-
Oh, it's beautiful. We came in. It was amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
All the exposed wood, and it's
That's what I love. Yeah.
yeah.
It was, yep.
Well, yeah, it was all plaster and gross and brown painted wood floors.
Ugh.
We ripped it all out. It had drop ceilings and fluorescent lights, and we ripped that out and exposed the original beams in there. But you figure they were in an attic since 1909, so we sandblasted them. But instead of using sand, we used dry ice as the aggregate.
Holy moly.
So we went through 7,000 pounds of dry ice up here to clean all that wood.
So Indiana Ocean or Praxair were your best friends?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But
Good
one
grief.
of the things I'm super excited about Primeval coming down here because I wanted something specifically in downtown, in the walkable part of downtown, that was going to be doing like some craft stuff and something different, something that could be a draw for Noblesville. Like I'm Noblesville strong here. I'm super proud to call this home, and so these guys coming in with what I feel like is a completely different concept than anything else in Hamilton County right now. So I'm pumped to have these guys get their doors open and have some people in here to to do some like what is the beer I screw it up every single time. You do like a funky style beer, the smoked.
That's one of my favorite beers. Actually, I love smoked beers, and
Oh yeah.
one of my favorites is a Rauk beer, traditional
Yeah.
Bamberg German Rauk beer, and it's one of my favorites. And that
You
will,
ever had it?
Oh yeah. I
We'll
love
have,
I love the smoke beer. Yep.
yep,
Yeah.
well, that's actually be one of our mainstays.
Really?
Oh,
Yep.
hell
That's
yeah.
awesome.
It's a gamble. I understand. It's not something we expect everybody to like, but
Yeah. Yep.
I
The
love
right
it.
It's
kind
unique to. I mean, you
yeah.
got some people can't get into it, but I think it's a beautiful,
Yep.
beautiful beer. Yeah.
So
Well, this is the perfect time to take a station break
Yeah, you're a
to
step ahead of me.
offer you a commercial right now. If you really foaming at the mouth right now for this beer and everything else, now would be a good time to call Kevin Fertig Realty and schedule an appointment down here at Parker Mortgage, and we can walk you through, get you pre-approved, blah, 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 all that other stuff, and we can take you downtown for your own personal tour and get you that beer. And we can discuss your next home buying needs, everything else, and discuss making you world champion of your new home.
That's
Brought to you by
beautiful.
Kevin Thorn.
Nice.
The
The Primeval Brewery is going to make you want to move to Noblesville, and if you're going to move to Noblesville, call Kevin Ferdig.
I'm here for you, baby.
Is it legal to pre-sell beer? Is that a thing?
No.
We can taste it.
We can
We're not
we can
charging
taste
for
it.
We're high-fiving for it.
Kevin, we should, since you're such a big tequila fan, we should try to get him to do like a tequila barrel brew and call it the Dark Kiss.
I disagree.
Very well. Did
you see what I did there?
You're using my finishing move.
Did you see what I did there?
I'm just saying, or you could come up with an IPA, and we could call it Pale Rider. I'm just saying.
There you go.
We could go Mordecai. I'm just saying.
We could do both. You could Pale Rider and then the Dark Kiss.
There you go.
It's getting kind of nerdy in here.
There's nothing wrong with that, though.
Hey, don't judge. Leave us alone.
I think our shows always get kind of nerdy.
Yeah, eventually.
gonna have to.
Every single one.
Or at least just way off topic.
Well, we've been hearing about the beer. I'm kind of thirsty. Let's try some of this Primeval beer.
All right.
Let's do it. Let's take a quick 5 and get some beer.
Get
out
set
here.
up.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're a craft beer guy who can't get it nearby, do yourself a favor and log into Taver.
Hi, this is Kelly from 18th Street Brewery, and you are listening to Blind Pig Confessions.
Hey, we are back at Blind Pig Confessions. Where are we?
Welcome back.
We are in Noblesville, but where are we?
Kind of, sort of primeval.
Right above.
We got some Primeval action going on, some Kevin Thorn action going on, some Mordecai. What do you go by these days, Mister? You like to go by Fertig now?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I kind of like Kevin Ferdig.
But
It's my actual name. It's been a long time since I've ever heard it.
I know if
we want to go way back, 18 in a bar called Neon Moon. In Memphis, Tennessee. I was referred to
7.
No, I was Bam Bam. Yeah, I was Bam Bam for a
Really?
long time. Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah. And then
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
To the children, probably about 21 right now. I'm not your dad. I don't care what your mom told you.
She said she was 18.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm not your dad. And then I was 7. And then it went from there to.
You're 7.
Yeah,
Your name was 7.
My name was 7. Yeah, I was 7 deadly sins in Louisville, Kentucky. Yeah,
At one point in time, your name was 7 Thorn, correct?
Yeah,
I mean, someone told me that. I don't know.
yeah,
I mean, I don't know.
Heard about that a time or
I
two.
heard.
I left
Someone told me.
WWE and still needed to make a good paycheck, and they were kind of like, "Well, you can't use her name because it's trademarked." And I went, "Well, yeah, we'll take this. I'm 7 Thorn now." And that
Nice.
was kind of like, but hey, whatever.
But it got you a
And then I
paycheck, right?
realized, you know what? I'm just gonna use Kevin Thorn and call it a day, and then
But do you still work on occasion at Independence, or do you do shows, or do you?
I do a lot of fundraisers now.
Nice.
My thing is now, not totally blessed. By no means am I a millionaire. No means am I anything else. But I'm not hurting. But if fundraisers come up and stuff like that, I definitely want to do them, and I want to give back. For what I've been blessed with, stuff like that.
You did the Arabian Rumble the last couple of years.
Rumble. So Arabian Rumble was in Pendleton, and we've done that for 2 years. We're going to do it again this year in April.
Nice.
And actually, I'm in works to figure out a way to do another fundraiser the day after, because just this week, on Monday, a kid on my son's football team named Brady ended up long story short, figured out we have Hodgkin's lymphoma. So he went to surgery yesterday and pulled out a sample, everything else. We're trying to figure out what's going on and everything else. But it definitely looks like it's going to be it's not going to be a short road. It's going to be time well traveled and everything else for him. And with the Knights, the HSC Knights, which is a travel football team that my son was on. We're going to come up with something to basically do a fundraiser. I was part of a select group of dads that was awesome. The BDC, and I won't give anybody the initials to the BDC. Only the BDC knows. But we were a group of dads that hung out, tailgated a little bit, had a lot of fun at football games and everything else. And we're we're gonna do something to raise some money for Brady. So we, you know, in a perfect world, what I would like to do is I would like to. April 26th, I think, is the date that we've set with Pendleton. So April 27th, I would like to either get Fishers or HSE High School Gymnasium, and then I want to take the guys that I had at Pendleton the night before, bring them over down to Fishers and everything else, and then just throw a huge wrestling bash, raise some money, just hoot, holler, have a good time, everything else for Brady, because in this day and age, everybody's got, you know, we all have medical insurance and everything else. It doesn't cover half of what's actually needed and stuff like that. And you know, it's a load to bear. For, I have that gift, that ability, everything else. I've been blessed, you know, to.
That's awesome.
To somehow be a star, and I never meant to be that. And you know, I this is, you know, my thing, you know, to give back.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day.
I've been to the Arabian Rumble the last couple of years and put on a hell of a show.
Oh, dude,
it's real fun.
Man,
my youngest daughter loves wrestling.
Yep.
She's probably going to kill me.
Yep.
She's turning 15 tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
She's got a big crush on you.
Oh, we'll take a picture.
That makes two of us.
We'll give a shout out. You will get a video. You maybe not so much. I don't know what you're gonna do with it when you get home. But you know what? But yeah, man. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, that's, you know, I always larger than life, but I always come back to reality a lot of times. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, is what can you do with your stardom? And I've been blessed to be able to give back, and that's what I want. I mean, that's what I want to do. So
that's awesome. Not everybody that's in your position does that.
No. I mean, you know, and that's their choice. My choice is to know what I've been given and everything else, and you know, and to take what I've got and use it for something. Because I mean, at the end of the day, that's all we got.
Yeah. Yep.
You know,
I've raised more money. And I don't want to break my own arm, pat myself on the back as well as you don't either. But
you're going to.
I've raised more money
with my toenail clippings.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. That was you.
Doing
one whole jar.
One time, and now I'm forever.
Whatever.
Through stand-up comedy, I mean, I have a day job. I don't like if I can go do a 5-minute, 15, 20-minute set and raise money for someone.
Yeah.
Whatever charity. I mean, we did it for at Alley's. You know, me and Rick Garrett did.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I don't. I mean, why would you pay me for that? You know,
Right.
just it's 5 minutes. If,
Right.
if it raises $5,
Yeah.
that's perfect, and that's what I would.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you're blessed with a gift. I mean, you're blessed with a gift to do that and everything else. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, to me, it's just and I'm sure just like you, it's just as rewarding to be able to walk out that curtain and get. I mean, good God, all the high fives, all the kids. I mean, you were there at the Arabian Rumble.
Oh yeah, it was.
I mean, they're hugging me all the way to the ring. It's like, you know, it's like fighting through kids. I mean, just to get there. And,
not literally, people.
And it's not fighting, but you know, like it's like a seed. It's like a seed. But I mean, that's a gift. I mean, a gift we're being given. I mean, you know, you have the gift of comedy. I have the gift of wearing spandex.
Breaking bones.
Yes, you do have the gift.
Yes. Whoa.
Wait a minute.
No, I mean,
You're going down the wrong road.
But that crowd reaction, it's just. I mean, I'm sure it's the same in comedy as this. It's like
100%, man. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Give me another.
It's a drug.
There's nothing like it. I mean, I've never been into drugs or whatever, but that means like if
the lights,
it's anything like that.
The lights are a drug, man.
Yep.
The lights are. I mean, you know, nobody ever gets it and stuff like that. It's the lights. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, whether you're, you know, you're out there looking up at them right before you work or whatever else. But even too, when you're laying on your back getting pinned and you're looking up the lights, it's like, holy crap, you know, like, I mean, just hearing all the you know.
They're still reacting.
Yeah, they're still reacting.
That.
They're still doing whatever. It's like there's no. I mean, there's no greater joy. So I mean that, you know, and that's the thing. I mean, you know, so if I can use that to give back, then I mean, wow,
it's awesome.
Do it.
It's amazing.
So what's this beautiful brewery? Because this is
we need to cheer this up now. We went really soft for a second.
This is crushable. I mean, I could slam this all day. This is beautiful.
Actually, I just did. Oh crap! Can I get some more of that?
That is really good.
That's what we call a boat beer.
Real good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just a basic Munich Helles. It's going to be one of our staples,
Mm-hmm.
one of the easy approachable beers, but
Yeah.
the everyday drinking beer of Southern
damn.
Germany.
This is what somebody says. I like Bud Light. You're gonna
this
throw at
this
him,
is
right?
what you're going to send
Yeah.
them. But
This is fantastic.
yeah, it's
That is really
Well, he did
nice.
say he worked with Anheuser-Busch. He's trying to put him out of business. He's saying Dad's forefather. He was on a strike line. This is his way to get back. Say,
it's the-
screw you, the man. I'm about to own you.
All right, it's the douchebag that walks into a craft brewery and says, "Can I get a Coors Light?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you
We got
can.
that for you.
Well, you can for $15 a bottle, right?
That's right. Yeah, some places will sell it to you for
Yeah.
exactly that amount.
What?
Yep.
What? Isn't it Danny Boy that does
Yes,
that?
they
yeah.
do.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Do they?
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's, on,
yeah.
it's up on the menu. You can
Yeah.
go look at right at the board. They'll have it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've got a
Yep,
couple
they'll
of
sell
them.
it to you.
It was like when the craft breweries first started popping up, they had to offer foods. They would offer like a can of SpaghettiOs for like $95,
Yep.
or like a grilled cheese sandwich for $30, and they'd say, "No one ever orders it, but we're offering it." I mean, that was their whole. That was the way to get
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
certain things or
laws.
whatever. They would
Yeah,
offer
oh, yeah.
SpaghettiOs for it.
Bags of chips.
Right, back
Well,
to
Yeah.
single-handedly on Nashville streets, I mean, the greatest thing you can ever eat is a fried bologna sandwich. And it's literally like
Why is that gotta be on
$25
Nashville
at like
streets?
Tootsie's and all that other thing. I mean, but it is the greatest thing you can eat at
It
that
is.
time, that point in time. And I mean, people pay it.
Well, there's a brewery in Fisher's, Mashcraft, there on Allisonville Road.
Mm-hmm.
They have a bologna sandwich, and it's amazing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it
It's
is.
like it's got bacon and it's got salami and it's got a fried egg on it. It's like the greatest thing ever.
How late are they open?
Yeah, it's really healthy too. I hear it's good for you.
No, it's keto friendly.
They have a tater tot version. You ought to try that one. That's pretty tasty.
Say
too.
what?
A tater tot version of what he's talking about.
Yeah, well, you sold me on tater tots.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
You had him at tater tots.
They're
right?
Canadian
And
tater
there's
tots,
beer,
though.
so you can have this
Oh,
whole
my God.
tater tot mass.
Oh, they
of-
have those the tachos.
Yes,
It's
that's
got
what
like
it
a
is.
fried egg
Toch-
and cheese and
Oh, yeah.
fantastic.
Mashcraft, if you're listening, this is our way of saying, hey, invite us in. We'll do a podcast at your table.
It's Prime Eater. You guys gonna do food or
Yeah, we're actually gonna have. We're not gonna have a full-blown
Full-
kitchen, but
right.
we'll have very simple, basic stuff that we can serve.
Nice.
Try to do some local stuff, but also just simple sandwiches, pretzels, meat platters, or sausages.
some easy
But
beer
what
drinking
else do you
food?
need? Nate's-
No, as I said, yeah, just some easy
Better
beer
have
drinking
that
food.
fried
And,
freaking
yeah.
tender
There's already a lot of
bologna,
full-blown
kind of
restaurants
German.
around,
Yeah.
but just stuff that you can have.
Some wiener schnitzel.
Yep.
You've sold me on sausage platter.
Yep.
You're just sold on sausage, period.
Oh wow.
He
Absolutely.
had cowboy at sausage platter.
I don't know why we're all laughing.
Well, cowboy. Giddy up.
How do you? You can tell you part of that you loved about wrestling was the theatrics, and you can tell from the beginning of the show you still love those theatrics. What do you do now to keep
Yoga.
having that fun and
I do podcasts like this.
yeah? But you're not wearing. You still dress up a lot though, don't you? You still, I know at the bar. You,
Time out. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, nobody knows I'm not dressed up in my outfit right now until you just gave that away.
I literally saw a video of him in a kiddie pool with snow on the ground the other day.
Oh yeah, man, dude.
On
That
his
video.
back porch.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is, like with me now is just trying to figure out how to make real estate fun. I mean, there's so many amazing realtors out there and everything else, and I mean, they give you they're giving you all the market reviews and how to do this and how to do that, but nobody's that fun to me. And so my thing is everything I can do and then some to have fun. I mean, it's like the commercial I'm about to have come out that I just showed all you guys.
yeah.
I mean, it's just straight me having fun, which by the way, Parker Media did. But I mean, like literally, it's just having fun. I mean, and that's at the end of the day is I'm a serious realtor. I mean, trust me, I work for Vince McMahon. There's no other billionaire out there in this world that I've been in a room with. And not any realtor out there in Indianapolis can ever say they've been in a room with a billionaire. I have. That will sit there and look straight through your soul and ask you why. And I've had that opportunity to negotiate and everything else. So, I mean, there's no negotiation I'm worried about, nothing else. But I mean, at the end of the day, we're having fun. I mean, it's not about our egos as realtors. It's about serving our customers and everything else. I mean,
Right.
Because in general,
it's
like
A and B. It's a seller and a buyer.
Yeah.
a fairly stuffy bit. I mean, not stuffy, but like very serious, straightforward.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, and my logic of it is, I mean, have fun. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm making a world champ. I mean, and I've made plenty of world champs. I mean, I can go down the list of guys that I wrestled for a long time that became world champs and everything else. Day in and day out, I work for them. I made them who they are. Did I have to, do what I did for them? No, but at the end of the day, they're going ahead of me. That's fine.
Right.
I'm okay with that. Ego's not there for me. I mean, at the end of the day, it's raising my client's hand and everything else and saying, hey, you know what? You're the world champ. When you're about to walk over the threshold or the curtain, which like what I did in WWE is called the gorilla position. When you walk out the curtain, that's exactly like my clients getting to their house the first day, raising the garage door, going into the garage, walking through the garage door or walking through the front door and walking across that threshold and just sitting there in awe. And they're just, staring in amazement that they just did this deal.
You put them over.
I mean, I put them over. I mean, I made, I didn't make them. It's more a tag team thing. We made each other. I mean, we worked together to get this deal done and everything else. But, at the end of the day, they're the ones that deserve the glory. They deserve it all, everything else. And they're getting their hands raised. I mean, like I said before, if I could do smoke and I could do fireworks, and I could do it all, and have an entrance ramp when they got there the first time after they closed and everything else, dude, it would be on. I would be but I mean, think about it.
I'm making no money off this, but it's okay.
I kind of want to buy a house.
You're the king of the castle. It's your venue, everything else. I mean, if you want to dress up in your underwear and drop elbows on your couch, you know what? It's your house. You can do whatever you want now. I mean,
that's exactly what I'm going to do.
It's yours. What do you mean? It's exactly what you're going to do. You do that all the time. Let's be honest. Wrestling your dog. 1, 2, 3. I just beat you.
My wife's getting an elbow when I get home.
Yeah, you're giving her dusty elbows. Sell this. But it's your house. I mean, so that's the joy of it all, and stuff like that is. Everybody, in this world, at the end of the day, it's I want to wrestle in Madison Square Garden. I've wrestled in Madison Square Garden. I've seen all the different matches and everything else.
Ford Field.
Yeah, Ford Field. 96,000 people. But I mean, when you're the main event, you're the champ, you're the guy holding the belt, you're the king of the castle. It's your house. You can't do any wrong, and that's the thing I'm selling is this is yours. So you're the king of the castle. You're the
basically
champ.
tagging them in.
Yeah. Oh
Here
yeah. Tag in. Here you go. Get it. I mean, make the pin. Everything else. When you walk in, it's pyro. Everything else, and it's run up and down the stairs. If you want to do the Ultimate Warrior thing, great. Make sure you have a home warranty because when you're shaking that rail too hard, you want to make sure if it falls off, we got you covered. But other than that, that's it,
And to clarify, Cowboy, I think the gorilla position he's talking about is quite a bit different than yours.
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe we should talk about that off there.
You want to check it out and just make sure?
Yeah. I'd like to see that.
I think we should take another quick 5, and I think we should get another bourbon up here.
Heck yeah, let's do it.
Let's talk. Yeah, all right.
This is Robert Ralph Fedderson, and you're listening to Blind Pig Confessions. The bear eats the dude.
Hey, this is Jim Boris from the Backstep Brewing Company in beautiful downtown Crawfordsville, and you are listening to Blind Pig Confessions.
Kevin Furtick.
Hey, we're back again.
We got some deliciousness in front of us.
More bourbon, more beer.
Oh, we are back.
Yeah. So we tackled some Primeval, which was a beautiful beer, and I can't wait to have some more. I can't wait till your stuff comes out, man. That was really good. That was just a nice, crushable, everyday drinking. I mean,
So nice.
Yeah, easily drink 6 gallons of that. Yeah.
I can see cutting the grass this year on the lawnmower, and
I can't wait till those doors open up and we come
In your Speedos.
Yeah.
Why do I gotta be in Speedos?
I'm not gonna cut the grass, but I can see you drinking
sorry.
some of that beer.
Did you switch up to Thorn again?
No, I just go freestyle nowadays.
No one can see it.
He lives in the country.
Yeah.
But we have passed a beer around. It's the Lost Abbey from Support Brewing Company. This is one of the beers that were sent to us by our sponsor, Taver. If anybody is looking for a great craft beer, and especially this stuff, I know all you guys have got the app now. It's an incredible place. I imagine one of these days, Primeval will be delivered by Taver probably too, because it's
Hopefully, yeah.
they find the best beers around. It's a great app.
The funny thing is, we will never get it on Taver.
Well, we won't. We don't have to. We just come in down. We don't have to. We don't
drive
need
4
to.
miles and
Just
downtown. beautiful
walk in and get it
downtown
ourselves.
Noblesville and-
Or we just keep inviting him on shows, and he'll just keep bringing it to us.
So we're doing the show at a putt mini course.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no mics. Don't worry about it. Just bring some beer.
Just come on.
But this is a really nice beer. It's brewed with, honey, raisins, and rosemary. And unique flavor, but it's a quad.
I don't know if I
10
get any
percenter.
rosemary on that.
I'm not getting a bit. I'm getting a little hint of rosemary in the back.
Maybe if it warms up
a
a
lot of
little bit,
like plums, like I said, plums, raisins, those dark fruits. It's a beautiful beer.
I get that raisin big time.
Yeah.
I don't get rosemary at all.
Like I said, I may need to warm up a bit.
You know what? I'm getting rosemary plenty. You guys need to shut up.
Hating on rosemary.
It's one of those things that if they wouldn't have said it was in there, I wouldn't have picked it up.
Tattooed on my ass, so it's just
like
rosemary.
Yeah,
light herbal finish.
Yeah. You get that. If they wouldn't have said, you can get the herb, but if they wouldn't say that's rosemary in there, I'm not gonna say, that's rosemary. But it's on the bottle, and I know it's there, and I'm picking it up. But if they wouldn't have said it's in there, I wouldn't know what herb it is. I know there's some herbalness in the back end of that, but herb. There's some herb in here.
Let's kill a beer.
Yeah, I like it. It's good.
That's good.
So in the grand scheme of beer nerds, I'm gonna get lambasted by you guys. I'm not a huge beer guy.
Mhm.
So,
Neither are we. Don't worry about it.
So, but IPAs are like my garlic to vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
I'm
bitter
the
hop
same
stuff.
way.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I really dig this stuff. This
Yeah.
is really weird, but I love it.
Yeah.
So
This is definitely my type of.
This is your jam.
Yeah, this is the dark,
Yeah.
the bourbon barrel.
The more I drink it, the more plum I'm getting out of there.
Oh,
really.
God,
It's,
yeah.
I'm not an
Some of
IPA.
currants and
I'm
raisins
not an
and
IPA
currant-
guy.
yeah.
dark like
Yep.
candied fruit kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
yeah.
If it's a good
Very
beer,
good.
I'll drink it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I find an IPA that I like,
Wouldn't have known
I'll
that
drink it
part.
all day
That's
long,
great.
but I haven't yet, so I don't drink them.
When that day comes.
Right.
Now you're not an IPA guy, but have you ever ventured into the NEPA land?
Nope, you're speaking Spanish to me.
Yeah.
Right now.
NEPA,
Like you have two heads.
yeah. NEPAs aren't very hop forward. They are, but it's in a different way.
So
So
New
you're not.
England IPA.
I don't like to say that because I hate the Patriots. So
Well, it is a Patriots Super Bowl.
They are going to win in their Super Bowl here. in a
I
few-
like to say
another week.
northeastern.
Yeah,
You know,
I accept that.
You just call it the Brady beer.
the
Is that what
Brady
we-
beer.
So Tim, that's a good question we like to ask brewers, because some brewers hate the NEPAs. Others are kind of saying, they're kind of like, we got to make it now because it's kind of the hot thing. But there's some. It's funny how that style of beer is really. We talk to different people, and some get really mad about them because they just despise that whole style of beer.
But the funny thing is, it's been around it's been around longer than people are giving it credit.
It's funny though that we had.
I mean, let's be honest, guys. I mean, blind, crippled, crazy, whatever. You guys would still drink it. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, pretty much,
I
yeah.
don't
We
know
would
what
at least try it.
we wouldn't do that.
Call us the blind pigs for nothing.
I mean,
Well,
let's be
what's your
honest.
take on the NEPAs, Tim?
Well, I mean, I think there's some very good beers. It's a well-made beer. You can drink it. It's flavorful. I think it's okay. I mean, there are some great New England IPAs. Sorry.
Northeastern.
Sorry. There's great Northeastern IPAs.
There we go.
Or orange juice or whatever.
If I come
There's
into
well-made
Primeval,
ones, and then there's just some ones that just are, I mean, they're not well made. They're not a good drinking beer.
Well, you can find it with any style too, though. But
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, is it a style I think could stick around? Probably, because I think there's some well-made ones, and
Yeah.
it'll probably last for a while.
Yeah.
well, it got its own category in
It is, but just
the
like
world
but just
this
like
year.
every beer, that's the great thing about craft beer or any of the beers is that there's so many different styles. You can pick and choose what you want.
Yeah.
You may not like that, but go find something else.
And I think that we've talked about this before a lot, but one of the things I like about bourbon too is those bourbons and those brews. There's so much you can do with them, and you have bourbons like, holy crap, I can't believe there's so many different styles and there's so many different flavors. People think of bourbon sometimes that don't drink. I think of Jack and Jim Beam. It's like, wow, that's just not what bourbon is. I mean, there's just there's such a wide range of what you can do with the flavors and bourbons and.
Well,
and
I mean, let's
beers.
be honest though. I mean, when you're walking up to a bar and you're ordering a bourbon, I mean, it doesn't matter which one you order. I mean, it doesn't. If it's called Pink Elephant, it still sounds cool because it's a bourbon.
Right.
But if you walk up to the bar and you order a beer, I want a Nima. Like, I mean, what the fuck?
What? A Nipa?
What is it?
A Nipa. A New England
A
Pale Ale.
Nipa. I want a Nipa. I mean, it was bad enough saying, what IPAs you got? Now you're going, I want a Nipa. Or a Nipa. I mean, come on.
I'm sure
where are we going with this, ladies and gentlemen?
It would-
Where?
it would
I mean, what
probably-
happened to I just want a damn PBR.
Amen.
And
The same thing.
bless your heart for wanting a PBR. I'm sure that the Nipa would probably have a name of some sort.
I figured you're for a
Like
stroke.
juice packet.
A juice packet, a Capri
I mean,
Sun.
that's almost as bad
I
as
get a
coming to the
Capri
bar.
Sun.
Come to the bar, I go, I want Brady. I mean, come on. I mean, I want a Brady. I mean, can we just call it a Brady? Because let's be honest, it'll phase out real quick. Because only New Englanders will want this beer and everything else. No other man out there will go, I want a Brady. So let's just as Blind Pig like right here. Let's just
kill it.
go ahead and
Let's
throw it
squash it
out
right
there.
now.
We're gonna squash this shit right now. If you're ordering one of those New England beers, damn it. Northeastern beers or whatever the hell it's called.
catching
New
on.
England, you Patriot whatevers and blah blah blah. Yes, I'm a Colt fan. Get over it. You have to refer to it as a Brady if you're going to order it. Let's see how far this goes. If you're going to, I want a Brady because no one's going to do it.
So if you
Now, if you ask for a Giselle, it's okay because like we're okay with it. Like so that's your code word for it. That's your safe word. Oh, you don't have a Brady? Do you have a Giselle?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
And then
Okay, then we can go with this.
They
I'll
bring
pour you
you
a long
Zima.
one.
They bring you a Zima if you order a Giselle. They bring you a
And
Zima.
I will drink the Zima.
If it tastes like Giselle.
Oh, shnikes.
So we do-
Let's shift gears over to this Long Branch.
I was getting ready to say because I cannot get enough of this actually.
It's Mike. I want to you talk about this because this is from
So I brought 3 other bourbons here.
McConaughey,
Out
right?
of,
Thank
out of
you.
the 308.
McConaughey.
Yeah.
We're up to 4, so we got a long night ahead of us. But so this is.
I've got nothing to do all weekend.
Hang on. So Long Branch.
It's crushable bourbon.
So if you
is what
guys
it
have
is.
had this before, Matthew McConaughey, for whatever reason, signed on to be the
Ambassador
brand
for
ambassador
yeah.
for Wild Turkey. And so they kind of threw him a bone and let him come out with his own signature line here.
All
And so
right,
they called
all
it Long
right,
Branch.
all right.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Is it 18 years?
And for those out there, that is way more sexy than ordering a Brady. If you ask for a McConaughey, it's okay. You ask for a Brady, still kind of sissy.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think the Brady will catch on. So, but this Long Branch is basically a wild turkey that is finished on mesquite charcoal. So it's kind of filtered at the end of the process through mesquite. So it's got I think a distinctly mesquite. Like it tastes like charcoal
does.
briquettes at the end.
And you're spot on with it.
So, but it's I think it's a light It's 43%, so 86 proof.
He should be. He's a bourbon master.
I'm not a bourbon master.
You're pretty close.
About as close as
I'm surprised because I love Wild Turkey actually.
Yeah.
I don't think it gets enough love from people. It's a great bourbon.
Absolutely.
It's a great bourbon, and I can't believe how light this is with the Wild Turkey on the side. That because the Wild Turkey is it's a heavy bourbon.
Yeah, they're known for kind of being hot.
It is,
Really
but
good,
I think
really high
I
rye.
love Wild Turkey. But I'm really shocked how smooth and light this is. But yeah, that's a unique that mesquite. That's wild.
Yeah. And
But it's
light.
wild. No
It's
pun
very
intended.
light.
Really good.
So I brought along this toy with me here, so you guys can come play with this with me here.
Oh yes.
Yes, please.
It doesn't vibrate over there, guy.
does not.
Weird guy with my shirt on.
I bet you he can make it
Keep
vibrate.
them on that side of the table. So this is a tasting kit. So if you guys have ever seen like a wine tasting kit, I know they have beer tasting kits also.
We're
This
not
is-
that sophisticated.
This is specifically for the whiskey world. So this has just a bunch of the flavor compounds that you would normally find in some whiskeys. So I'm going to pass some of these around, let you smell some of these. So can I walk you through how to do an actual bourbon tasting? Like
Absolutely.
You
Please.
put it on the
30,000 foot
table
overview.
and
I'm going to
snort
make it
it.
super
You
simple
just
because I know this
smell
is a beer show. But
No, it's not. We're craft spirits and craft beer.
all right, fair enough. So So first thing we're gonna do is I've got a little Glencairn glass, and so give it a big spin.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna take a look at the legs. So if you hold up to the light, you're gonna see kind of
those long branch legs.
Oh yeah, you're gonna see it hold on to the side of the glass, and it's just now. So what's that? 8 seconds before it really starts to break up and turn into legs. So this is fairly oily, but you notice the legs that are coming down are really thin. So it's not good or bad. So the legs are just going to kind of tell us how much of the grain oils are going to be retained, and they'll kind of give me an indication how long the finish is going to be and what I can expect. But so number 2, you're going to take a big deep breath of this. So big smell, and then so tell me what you guys smell. Do you pick anything up in there?
Hardly anything. There's not much on this nose.
So yeah, I get a lot of just straight ethanol.
Ethanol. Yeah.
Really vodka-y. So just alcohol.
I get alcohol. That's what I get.
All right.
Yeah.
So one of those.
I mean, you nailed
One
it.
of those little bottles coming around is number 16. If you would, pop that number 16 off, give that a smell, and then smell it again.
Smell the whiskey again?
This is vanilla. So it's basically a vanilla extract. So I want you to smell that vanilla and then go back and hit the whiskey again. See if you can pick up that vanilla smell.
Absolutely.
All right. So then the next thing I want you to do is I want you to take another deep breath of this with your mouth open. Feels super unnatural. So the first big deep breath kind of desensitizes your palate to some of those strong alcohol flavors. And then number 2, you start to kind of get through that. You start to actually kind of pick up some of the flavors. So I think I'm getting a lot of vanilla in this.
I don't know if it was. I don't know if it's just because I just smelled that. When
that's
I
what I was
took that in,
wondering,
now I'm getting that vanilla back because I come back out of there.
Yeah, vanilla is basically one of the only things I really smell out of Long Branch. I don't think this is a terribly complex bourbon. I think this is a fantastic bourbon to have with some barbecue or something that's already got some smokiness. It's a good compliment, but this is not. It's not my favorite like back porch sipper to hang out.
Let's think of the guy that made this. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, hot, long hair, blah blah blah. Attractive to the women. I mean, vanilla is the perfect aroma that you should smell with a Long Branch. I mean,
Are you guys?
I'm going to be honest.
So Matthew McConaughey did a movie. I think it's called Surfer Dude, but don't quote me on that. I'm not a big movie buff. But he did this movie.
Cowboy's got all his movies.
Yeah.
Cowboy was that Surfer Dude?
Probably.
But I guarantee you, if you go watch this movie, that it was Matthew McConaughey bet his friends that I bet you $1 million that I could go convince a movie theater or studio to let me make a movie in which I do nothing but smoke weed, drink, and I promise I'll never put a shirt on. If you go watch this movie, that's all he does the entire movie. There's not a scene that he has a shirt on. And I don't know. There is Matthew McConaughey.
Is that the name of it, Jeremy? You've seen that one.
What are you talking about? He's watching that tonight now.
Honey, I got something. Grab the oil.
Is Kevin Thorn in it?
Grab the oil.
I haven't seen it, but I'm gonna.
YouTube, here I come.
I'm getting Netflix on right now.
Grabbing Netflix on your phone. So the second one I have here is the 7-year-old Old Ezra Barrel Strength. So if you guys have seen this, Fred Minnick just made a little mini craze for this because he said that this is the best budget bourbon sipper in America right now. So I don't know. It's like maybe a $38 bottle. I don't really, somewhere in that ballpark. So fairly inexpensive bourbon. But I think it's interesting to put this one right up against that Long Branch because these are, to me, completely different.
Now, you are a bourbon guy, but are you whiskey guy as well? Or
Okay. I tend to be a little bit of a hoarder, so 308 bourbons.
Yeah. You're a bourbon snob?
It's like, no, absolutely polar opposite of bourbon snob. Some of my favorites are the bottom shelf bourbons, and actually I get really skeptical about top shelf stuff.
I like your style.
However, I try to force myself to stay in my lane and only do bourbons because if it opened up to whiskey, now I got to have more shelves.
Oh, yeah.
So
now you're looking at about 900 bottles?
Yeah.
Because he's a Kentucky boy. I come in here as a Tennessee boy, and I can't find a bottle of Jack Daniels to save my life in this place.
I think there's a gentleman Jack in there.
Down under the bottom shelf.
We hit it.
Evan Williams, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So, this old Ezra 7. So, if you do that same test that we just did a second ago, big deep breath, and then if you hit number 17 out of that little tasting kit. So, what we've got here are basically little, 1.5 ounce bottles that are essential oils of a ton of different flavors. And so, number 17 here is caramel. And if you want one of these tasting kits, I actually went down to the Stave and Thief Society in Louisville, Kentucky last year, and I got certified as an executive bourbon steward. So they do a day's worth of training on like sensory whatever. So they teach you how to smell stuff. So now I get really geeked out about smelling things around the house and trying bourbon.
Why don't you have that mounted on
This
the wall?
leather never smelled so good.
They had cocaine on the wall just to see, but he didn't go towards that. You know, it was a good sign.
But this stuff I think is super like caramel forward. That's like the thing that really jumps out to me. I've got like, I don't know if you guys are like foodies, but burnt butter. If you
Look at us,
Have
come
you
on.
seen us?
well, like burnt butters,
For
brown
foodies.
sugars,
Yeah,
caramels,
yeah.
vanillas.
This ain't all chicken McNuggets, buddy. I know my way around a burnt butter.
Definitely a Whopper.
Oddly enough, I get a lot of Caro syrup off this.
Caro syrup.
A 6-piece
Hang
Whopper,
on,
please.
I'm going back for the
I'm going for
With a large Coke. Oh, I mean diet.
Diet
I'm
Coke.
on a diet.
Caro syrup.
But can you throw in the large fry?
2%
Can I get the
milk.
kitty cone?
2% milk. I can't drink whole milk. Wait, is this crazy talk?
So the other thing they talk a lot about is brown spice. So brown spice is just generically baking spices. So if you were to open the cabinet, you got nutmegs and cinnamons and allspice, all that kind of stuff.
pumpkin pie.
Yeah, pumpkin pie spice, apple pie spice. That's generic brown spice. So
Brown Spice was my nickname in high school, by the way.
I don't understand why. You're the second whitest guy here.
because sporty spice was already taken.
It's from the waist down. It's from the waist down.
It's from the waist to the knees.
Halfway to the ankle.
So anyway, old Ezra 7, like this just was rated best budget bourbon sipper thing in America, and I don't know that I agree. Like, for
It's
my
good.
money, there's a bunch of other stuff.
It's very hot.
Actually,
Yeah,
old
it is
Ezra,
hot.
if you'd like to send Mike Parton at Parker Mortgage some sample
swag.
bottles and some swag, he might up his ante. I'm just saying. He might say, greatest gosh darn bourbon I've ever had.
Gosh darn it.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. It's just.
So the finish on it, I think, is almost overly smoky, but it's not got any. It doesn't linger. It doesn't hang out and get complex. It goes from that brown sugar and caramel and butter to smoke to nothing.
Gone.
Like
Yeah,
really,
it's-
really fast.
It doesn't linger.
So if you guys want to try one more, if you're not lightheaded enough already,
Jeremy just did something that lingers.
Four Roses that I have there is an OBSO. It's a single barrel, barrel strength. It's roughly 120 proof. That stuff is flipping fantastic.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
we will
Yeah.
hit that.
Let's
Absolutely.
let's take a quick 5 and then come back and do some Four Roses.
Right on.